Evening and welcome to this episode of Bear News. I'm Austin Sack. Tonight on Bear News, you may notice a few changes with our appearance, but we will get to that later on. Coming up, we have a UNC Greek Life update telling us how they have managed through the pandemic and with the current fraternity and sorority program coordinator stepping down.
And I'm Catherine Stala. Later on, we also have an urgent story involving stolen cars reported in the Greeley community, as well as a story on an upcoming jazz festival. It's virtual this year. Also on tonight's episode, meteorologist Mackenzie Lake is back with a full weather report.
We will also have a story showcasing a new mural that is coming to UNC's campus. Now to get to the question we know all of you have been eager to ask. Where are the masks? You notice you can see my face and see my lips move. Well, that's because Bear News was granted an exception to UNC's mask policy to allow our anchors to take off their mask while we're on camera. We still have to maintain safe distance from others and observe all other COVID precautions and guidelines. And don't worry, everybody else in the studio is still safely masked and socially distanced. We're all aware of the challenges and obstacles COVID-19 has brought students while attending the University of Northern Colorado. Sports, clubs, classes were all temporarily shut down. But here at Bear News, we were curious about how a pandemic affected Greek life here at UNC. It comes as no surprise that social gatherings and recruiting of new members for fraternities and sororities came to a stop. But when classes, clubs, and sports went back into full swing in spring semester 2021, many Greek life organizations have continued to struggle to operate. Bear News reporter Rowan Williams and I got the chance to Zoom conference with the current program coordinator of fraternity and sorority life at UNC, Lacey Stays. Although she has decided to leave her position within the fraternity and sorority life after 5 years, she gave a unique insight on the current status of the Greek organizations and some words of wisdom for the new program coordinator. In the past few years, several Greek chapters were removed from the UNC campus for failing grades, drug and alcohol abuse, and sexual misconduct. With so many fraternities leaving, it seemed that Greek life at UNC was severely hurting and might be on the way out fast. With the start of the pandemic, the break of Greek life activities seemed like a blessing in disguise. Fraternities and sororities would have the opportunity to reevaluate their members and organization values. But as members of Greek chapters such as Alpha Phi, Delta Zeta, Pi Kappa Phi, and Delta Chi have expressed, it has been challenging to return to at least a semi-normal of operating. Well, as program coordinator Stays would say, that's just her job.
I think people are wanting to hold each other, not just their members, but everyone in the community more accountable. And, I think everyone really does strive and set out to do whatever they may deem as the right thing. And it can be definitely a difficult rub when perhaps it's one of your friends or someone that you never thought would do X, Y, or Z. It's difficult to have those conversations and make those decisions. But I do think that people are realizing it is for the benefit of not only their organization, but others to keep the FSL as well as UNC community.
One of the most common struggles of the Greek life community is the communication between the school and chapters. Stays brought an open door policy to her department at UNC, where any member could come to her office to discuss whatever concerns they might have, regardless of their position within a Greek chapter.
So I think that's really helped build the community. I think kind of establishing that trust and just relationships with people, often makes them feel like they can go to you whenever they need to. So it is unfortunate with COVID that's kind of it's been difficult to do. So I still hope that students feel supported.
Lacey advised the next program coordinator to get to know the various Greek life chapters and their members at UNC. But she also encouraged the Greek life community to do the same with the next person to fill the coordinator position. Developing a strong sense of trust and communication between the next program coordinator and the various chapters is how Lacey predicts sustainability and development of Greek life at UNC will continue to grow. Because last Friday was Lacey's final day at UNC, the Greek life chapters are now awaiting the next coordinator. But before she departed, Lacey expressed how proud she is of the Greek life at UNC and how they have handled themselves during this tough year. She's excited about her next spot for the position and to see who will join the new Greek life community.
Although the pandemic continues to exist, it won't dampen the excitement for the UNC and Greeley Jazz Festival. It's still planned with a twist. It's virtual this year. The Jazz Festival is April 22nd and 23rd, and you can choose from a variety of passes that allow you to watch and participate in the festival from the safety of your own home. You can choose your level of participation based on how many sessions you want to attend and how much money you want to spend. The least expensive pass is the Spectator's Pass for $15, $25, and $100. That gives you a chance to see multiple events, such as attending a virtual question and answer with the headlining artists and joining interactive virtual workshops. But no matter what you choose, you get to experience live jazz music. Before you buy, think about how many devices you can use to stream the festival. Adding more than one device can get expensive pretty quickly. For more information, visit www.ticketsunco.edu. It's been nearly a year since Colorado Governor Jared Polis issued lockdown orders across the state. Those orders closed bars, restaurants, and gyms for months. But as cases and hospitalizations go down and Weld County is dialed back to level yellow, these businesses are reopening. Bear News reporter Stephen Moss went downtown Greeley to see what's changed.
For rent signs are common in downtown Greeley. Many businesses closed permanently due to the pandemic last year. Others are closed indefinitely, like the Crest Cinema and its Speakeasy. Movie posters from August are still hanging out front. Roma Restaurant announced it would be closed until at least August. For the businesses that are open, they require mask wearing and social distancing. But there are signs this area is coming back to life. Jesse Mattis plays on a corner in front of the Rio every week, and while he doesn't get as many tips these days, people still listen nearby.
Yeah, people love it. It feels good to have them, change their day.
I encountered one of these listeners when I was interviewing Mattis.
Do you have a Venmo for tips?
I do not.
The guy asking about Venmo is Rob Smith. He's a local business advocate for Greeley Local, a directory listing all the restaurants, bars, and shops still open in town. He's really passionate about supporting the local economy.
You have the corporate business. We need some corporate, but, support local, support local, support local. I'm not sure if this is the exact number, but about 70-71% of the money they spend locally stays in the community.
This area might be changed forever, but there's still options to have a drink and hang out with a small group of people. Reporting live from downtown Greeley, Colorado, this is Stephen Moss, Bear News.
If you want to go out, make sure to wear a mask, travel in small groups, and keep at least 6 feet away from others at all times. That applies even if you're vaccinated. Now, Mackenzie, I know we had a bit of a summer tease with the sunshine and nice weather on Monday and Tuesday this week, and which was immediately followed by a chance of snow. Can you tell us what your current weather conditions are?
Of course, Kate. As much as I want to tell you that we aren't going to have any more snow for our future, unfortunately we're headed right towards March, which is the snowiest month in all of Colorado. Luckily for us, though, we see the snow that we did see yesterday has dissipated by 7 a.m. And we have a couple of light puffy clouds in the sky, but on the ground all the snow has dissipated and the roads are nice and clear. So like Kate said, if you do plan on going out and taking advantage of that sunshine, definitely make sure to wear a coat. I'm meteorologist Mackenzie Lake. Tune back again later in the show for your full weather forecast, and back to you, Austin.
Thank you so much, Mackenzie, for your weather conditions. We're excited for you to have us join you. We're excited for you to join us for your full weather report later on. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, less and less people are leaving their homes regularly. That means vehicles are out less and in the driveway more. Car thefts have gone up since last March at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. Bear News reporter Quinn Hodge has more on these statistics and what you can do to prevent your car from being stolen.
Car thefts have gone up astronomically. Ways that you can prevent this are by locking your car and making sure that you don't leave valuables in them.
Compared to 2019, there were over 70,000 more stolen vehicles in 2020. This trend also continues onto campus, where they say there have been more car thefts than before.
Leaving your car running, with the keys in the ignition, that is definitely inviting theft and that sort of thing.
If your doors don't actually lock with the fob, make sure that it's set up so that your car alarm goes off if someone tries to break in. You can also lock it manually with your key, which many people already know.
And a lot of times those cars are stolen and then they're used in other crimes. And then something that's historically been an issue is, I touched on it earlier, is like car break-ins. So, students just need to be mindful of not leaving laptops and other valuables in their car.
Deter thieves from stealing your valuables by concealing them or putting them out of sight. Reporting from Brighton, Colorado, this is Quinn Hodge, Bear News.
So remember to lock your cars and report it immediately if your car or belongings are stolen.
The last week of Black Heritage Month concluded with memorable events such as the DJ versus DJ battle. DJ 4Ls versus DJ Ambitious Boy battled it out with music through the decades. Both gave it their all and left the crowd with an unforgettable night. Though Black Heritage Month is ending, there are still ways to continue spreading support. One way to get more involved past the month of February is to join an organization on campus. Fourth-year UNC student Alex Charles is the recruitment officer for an organization on campus called the Black Student Union, better known as BSU. She says the club works throughout the year to spread awareness about current events and issues surrounding the Black community.
Our purpose is to provide a safe space for any students of the African diaspora or anyone who identifies as Black, anyone who doesn't, to come and talk about issues involving the Black community nationwide, within like smaller communities, anything like that. It is a very open and welcoming group. I'm there to make sure to know what the student body wants from the Black Student Union and to help us provide that better. I take in feedback and I can give that feedback to our board members so that we can make better programming for our students. We are also affiliated with the Marcus Garvey Cultural Center here on campus, which is another safe space for Black students and students of the diaspora to gather.
For further information, contact BSU on Instagram using the handle @BSUNCO. When Bear News returns, will he have news about a unique virtual club looking for new members?
All that and more, only here at Bear News. We will be right back.
3 out of 4 Americans know little to nothing about heart valve disease. Yet 11 million Americans are affected by heart valve disease.
If you have symptoms, please don't delay your care.
Physicians are trained to listen to the heart and detect any abnormal heart sounds or murmurs.
Heart valve disease usually can be treated successfully in all patients, regardless of their age, race, gender, or ethnicity. The key is getting properly diagnosed and treated in time.
Please look after your own hearts. You have a lot of living to do yet, so enjoy it.
Act now.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Go to valvediseaseday.org to learn more.
You've seen it around campus for a long time, the UNC Mirror. It's UNC's student newspaper, and it has served the Greeley community since 1919. But that doesn't mean their newspaper boxes need to look that old. After years of wear and tear, staff wanted to breathe some new life into these boxes. This week, Bear News reporter Camille Kleiman helped Mirror staff members give these old newspaper boxes a much-needed makeover.
You can find UNC Mirror boxes here.
Go.
And here. And here. But they weren't always looking this beautiful. Or this recognizable, in fact. Just last Saturday, I got the chance to help out staff writers at the Mirror repaint these boxes into beautiful works of art.
The boxes weren't in great condition before. Many were rusted, graffitied, and in the case of one box, battered after allegedly being hit with a snowplow. It was a small team of staff writers spending their Saturday afternoon here at the Mirror office off of 16th Avenue that gave these boxes their much-deserved makeover. They worked carefully, removing many years of dust, weathering, and graffiti that these boxes endured. I got in on the cleaning action and found that these boxes were just full of UNC history.
We're just finishing up cleaning here at the Mirror office, and we keep pulling up these cool old newspapers from the machines, like this issue I'm holding here from 2011 that features old students on the back. We're going to start the painting portion now. Let's see how it goes.
Then came the signature blue paint. Even community members got in on the action, painting every little crevice. To deter graffiti, staff writers got creative and added some visual interest. With print as a struggling medium, staff writers are unsure who the next team to paint these boxes might be. But for now, they say they hope that this might bring some new eyes to their paper.
Reporting from Greeley, Colorado, I'm Camille Kleiman, Bear News.
If you want to grab a newspaper from one of the newly redesigned boxes, or just admire the art, you can find them in front of Ross Hall and Candelaria Hall at UNC, or in front of Roma Pizza on 16th Avenue in Greeley. Next month's edition comes out March 1st.
If you're going to stay inside during this COVID season, you might as well play some video games, right? Well, as Bear News reporter Kendrick Trujillo tells us, some students in the eSports Club like to play competitively.
It is no secret that COVID has impacted many clubs and activities on campus. Vice President Jeremy Taylor of the Esports Club experienced this firsthand.
Lately, esports, we've basically just been doing competitive stuff. We haven't really been able to do any of our in-person events or more casual events lately just because of COVID.
On top of balancing his schoolwork, Jeremy plays competitively for one of his favorite video games.
I personally like to play League of Legends and Escape from Tarkov, and then pretty much anything that I have friends playing.
He has been playing League of Legends for many years now, and he's only getting better. Once COVID slows down, the Esports Club is planning to get back to their recruitment season.
It made it really hard to do recruiting, since despite being an online club mostly, a majority of our recruiting was through in-person events, and we couldn't do that this year because of COVID.
Luckily for this student, COVID cannot hinder Jeremy's love for video games. Reporting from Bear News, I'm Kendrick Trujillo.
A lot of students are probably playing more video games right now. Maybe the Esports Club will plan more in-person events once the virus slows down.
Many students have experienced struggles with their mental health during COVID-19. UNC's Counseling Center has long helped students navigate whatever circumstances come their way, and now they're doing the same during the pandemic. Before, students could find the Counseling Center in Cassidy Hall. But to offer care to students safely, they have transitioned their services to be completely remote. But don't worry, students still have access to any help they might need. From initial consultations to after-hour crisis support, the Counseling Center still provides students with the same care, just from a safe distance. To learn more about the Counseling Center or to schedule an appointment, visit www.unco.edu/counseling-center or call 970-351-2496. Also, turn into Bear News next week to hear some tips from the Counseling Center about juggling school, mental health, and the pandemic.
Bryan has a new wildlife rehabilitation center. Sunflower Ranch is home to many farm animals and now to Colorado's wildlife. This week, Bear News reporter Jordan Sherman takes a look at the Wildlife Center and how the community can help out local animals in need.
Keith Gunn, the founder of Sunflower Ranch Rehabilitation Center, has always loved animals. He was a vet tech for 5 years in Florida before moving to Colorado.
20 years ago, there was over 300 rehabbers here in Colorado, and today there's less than 60. So we have more people moving here to Colorado and less rehabbers, and the more people we have moving here and more houses being built, the more animal and wildlife, or the more wildlife and human conflicts we're going to have.
He originally started raising farm animals, but gradually started taking in wildlife that needed help.
First year that I did that, I worked out of a 12 by 12 room here at the house, and I took in 91 animals the first year. The second year I took in 120 something animals, and the third year was 130 something, and then this last year, 2020, we took in 188 animals.
Gunn plans to expand the ranch in the future. Recently, a pole barn was donated to the ranch. He plans to renovate the building so that eventually it can become the rehab center.
Right now, I do small to medium mammals, so anywhere from mice all the way up to fox. We mainly do raccoons, squirrels. That's the most calls
Sunflower Ranch is a nonprofit organization. It is volunteer-based and donation-based.
SFRWildliferehab.com is our website. If you get into sunflowerranch.com, it'll also take you down and you can get into Sunflower Ranch Wildlife Rehabilitation Center website. And Sunflower Ranch is spelled S-O-N, flowerranch.com.
Reporting from Brighton, Colorado, I'm Jordan Sherman, Bear News.
For more information about the Wildlife Center, visit sonflowerranch.com.
UNC's Cesar Chavez Cultural Center is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. To commemorate the event, the university added a new mural to the campus commons. UNC alum Armando Silva painted the mural, which was revealed to the public last Wednesday. This new piece joins similar works in the UC, celebrating Chavez's impact.
The title of this mural is called Somos Porque Eres. And that translates to we are because of who you are.
Works like these can brighten up campus while educating people about important historical figures. That's a great addition for campus. Maybe we can have more things like the Cesar Chavez mural in the future.
Later on, we'll take a look at the world of sports. But first, Mackenzie Lake is back with her full weather report. All that and more after this short message.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
Get into your weather report, would you care to tell us about a little bit about your time at UNC and what inspired you to become a meteorologist?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Austin. I am a Colorado native, and I grew up actually in the Hale city of Colorado called Highlands Ranch, and I ended up shadowing one of a meteorologist down in Colorado Springs. His name was Mike Everett, and after I saw how passionate he was about it and how he loved talking about Colorado weather, I just grew a passion for it as well, and I love it just so much, and I haven't looked back since. But taking a look at our full weather report for today, we do have our map of the US, where we can see highs and lows. We have this red shaded region right here. They're gonna be seeing a high of about 70 today, so they're looking at a nice day. As we move further north, these parts of the yellow region are looking at about highs of 50, and into the northern parts of the US, right around those green and blue areas, we are looking at about 20 to 30 degrees. So pretty chilly for us today, but pretty nice for them down in the south. Taking a look at our current conditions for Greeley, Colorado right now, we do have a high today of 37 with a low of 16. We did see those snowstorms push through at the end of the night, but they broke up at right around 7 a.m. and they brought us some beautiful Colorado sunshine that will continue on through the rest of the day. Looking through our highs for all of Colorado today, we see Denver is going to get up to 40 degrees, Pueblo is looking at mid to upper 40s, and Grand Junction's looking at around 49, and the northern parts of Colorado are looking at around 30 to upper 30s as well, so pretty chilly day for us. But then taking a look into Friday for Greeley, Colorado, we do have a high of 44 with a low of 18. Friday is expected to be very sunny, and that is going to be a nice start to our weekend, which is going to be relatively chilly. Then, taking a look on into our radar reflectivity imagery, we see Colorado right over here. We do have a couple of clouds down towards the central and southern parts of Colorado, and we do see some nice snow all along the Rockies. But for us here in the other parts of Colorado, we are looking like it's going to be a clear day today. Looking on into our weekend forecast, Saturday we're going to get up to 42 degrees. Sunday we're looking at a nice 38 degrees, and Monday is going to be in the mid to upper 40s. For our lows for this weekend, we're looking at 17 for Saturday, 15 on Sunday, and Monday is going to be a nice 20 degrees. Saturday we are looking at a 30% chance of snow, but don't be too scared because Sunday and Monday we will be expecting to see lots of sunshine. I am excited to be a part of the Bear News staff and will bring you your full weather forecast here every week. And with luck as spring comes, the weather forecast will get better and better.
Thank you for your report, Mackenzie. Coming up next in sports, anchor Aaron Schmidt tells us about the UNC men's basketball getting back to competition after almost a month of canceled games.
Stay tuned for Aaron's full sports report when Bear News returns.
3 out of 4 Americans know little to nothing about heart valve disease. Yet 11 million Americans are affected by heart valve disease.
If you have symptoms, please don't delay your care.
Physicians are trained to listen to the heart and detect any abnormal heart sounds or murmurs.
Heart valve disease usually can be treated successfully in all patients, regardless of their age, race, gender, or ethnicity. The key is getting properly diagnosed and treated in time.
Please look after your own hearts. You have a lot of living to do yet, so enjoy it.
Act now.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart.
Go to valvediseaseday.org to learn more.
Okay, good. At least I wasn't doing something else.
So, no games?
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death or one who's found everything to live for?
So, no games for nearly a month, in the middle of the season? But sports anchor Aaron Schmidt is here to tell us how the UNC men's basketball team did in their first game back after the long break.
Thanks, Kate. And might I just say, it feels good to take that mask off my face. But UNC's men's basketball team tipped off against the Warner Pacific Knights on Monday night, and the Bears had a field day. The Bears led at halftime and at the score of 41-30. UNC kept their foot on the gas when they put up another 48 points in the second half. The Bears won the game 89-60. This was Warner Pacific's first game of the season, but it went down in the losers column. Isaac Eder put up 23 points for the Knights, and Caleb Tompkins had 9 rebounds. 4 Bears players had 10 points or more. Roderick McComb and Matt Johnson each had 15 points. Kerr Jokuch had 10 rebounds and 14 points. The Bears hope to pick up another win when they take on Portland State tonight at 6:30 p.m. at the Bank of Colorado Arena. And in the professional world of sports, the Denver Nuggets took the court Tuesday night against the Portland Trail Blazers at Ball Arena. The Nuggets came out strong offensively, putting up 34 points in the first quarter, giving them the 34-25 lead after the first. The Trailblazers came alive in the second and tied the game at 57 going into the half. But both teams put up 21 points in the third quarter, making the fourth a very interesting finale. With the game deadlocked at 78 to start the fourth, Jamal Murray and Damian Lillard were trading threes, causing the game to go back and forth throughout. Portland's Carmelo Anthony had a really good night as well, putting up 24 points. In the end, the Trailblazers came out on the short end, losing to the Nuggets 111-106. Nikola Jokic had 41 points, Murray had 24 points and 8 assists, and Michael Porter Jr. had 10 rebounds. The Nuggets improved to 17-14 on the season and hope to get a win streak going when they tip off against the Washington Wizards tonight at 7 p.m. at Ball Arena. And in recent years, the NHL has scheduled more and more games outdoors. This year, the NHL set the scene at Lake Tahoe, where the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche took to the ice. The game started at about 1 p.m., but didn't end until a little past midnight. Why? Well, the Avalanche led the game 1-0 after the first, no thanks to Samuel Girard, but then they had to postpone the game because of poor ice conditions. The players and the officials were falling at center ice with nobody else around them, so they started the game at 10 p.m., and the ice was smoother and better than it was earlier in the day. The Avalanche hit the gas and didn't slow down. The Avs won the game 3-2 with Nathan MacKinnon and Devon Taves tallying a goal each. Alec Martinez and Alex Tuck of the Golden Knights scored, but it wasn't enough. The Avalanche improved to 9-4-1, and their outdoor losing streak came to an end. And I might just say, for those of you who watched the game, how about those new reverse retro Nordiques jerseys? Those are absolutely amazing. And a couple of updates. The Avs played the Golden Knights at home Tuesday, but this time didn't go the Colorado's way. Las Vegas has shut out the Avs 3-0. Colorado played at home again Wednesday night, this time against the Minnesota Wild, but home ice didn't help as the Avs lost a big one to the Wild, 6-2. And, well, they just got torched, Austin, and I don't know what they're going to do to bounce back from that one.
No, yeah, absolutely, Aaron. And I mean, with a switch from the home ice advantage into off, it's just kind of a tough battle. But hey, I mean, at least everyone's getting out there on the ice, and of course, as fans, we can sit back and enjoy them.
Yes.
I know I have.
Yes.
Aaron, it's always great to have you join us in the studio. And that's actually going to do it for Bear News tonight. Thank you for joining us, and remember to stay healthy and happy.
Don't forget to follow us on our social media accounts at Bear News UNCO. We'll be back right here next week on YouTube, but we are also working to broadcast on Facebook Live after spring break. Be sure to join us every week.